Yeah, so if we think about digital transformation and the latest trends relating to Kubernetes and cloud native, I actually think we're seeing a move away from maybe digital transformation in the traditional sense. And we're actually hearing organizations talk a lot more about modernization. And if you look at any of the research on this, all the CIOs are saying that modernization is really top of their agenda. And a load of things kind of flow down from that. But of course, one of them is focusing on applications. And naturally, cloud native technologies like containers are increasingly the standard for building and deploying new applications. But the one thing that I would call out is the impact of AI on building these new applications. Because without a doubt, of course, it's the hot topic at the moment, but I think we can all be very confident that the use of AI is going to massively accelerate the creation of these new applications, right? You have a co-pilot alongside your development team, which is naturally going to make them more effective in building and running these applications. And so for us as technologists in the cloud native space, we should expect to see a growing demand from those application teams to host those workloads. So issues like the scalability of our Kubernetes platforms, the resilience, and also the flexibility to be able to host this broad set of new workloads are going to be absolutely critical and front of mind for a lot of platform teams. So if we look at hybrid and multi-cloud environments, there's a whole range of reasons why organizations are adopting these architectural models. And the main one is really flexibility, right? We know that there are huge investments in traditional data centers, which is highly effective for hosting a certain class of workload. But for a lot of organizations, the ability to rapidly scale up and scale down gives them a competitive advantage. Now, Kubernetes solves the compute layer of this by being agnostic and providing that consistent control plane. But the real challenge is where you have one set of existing storage solutions on-prem, and of course all of the cloud storage available from the hyperscalers, providing a consistent data management experience is extremely challenging. And actually, trying to code and architect workloads to use these different storage solutions can actually have a really negative impact on an organization's ability to run workloads, which naturally impacts the business case behind Kubernetes in the first case. So where Portworx adds a lot of flexibility is by acting just like Kubernetes, by being that agnostic layer on top of the infrastructure. But for us, instead of solving the compute piece, we're solving the data piece. And so now, all of the inherent capabilities of containers and Kubernetes themselves, that portability, that ability to move between different operating environments, is now also true for your data. So essentially, customers can now manage their data just like they manage their containers. And this just unlocks a huge raft of capabilities, but I'll give you one example. Now you're able to truly make use of public cloud for, let's say, cost optimization, and you can do it not only for your stateless apps, you can do it for your stateful applications as well, which in most cases is the broad majority of those workloads. Okay, so Kubernetes is underpinning a lot of transformation in organizations, but I think we need to take a step back and think about why investment is being made in this technology stack. Because let's face it, any organization either going off and buying an enterprise version of Kubernetes or building their own and running it themselves, they're either going to make an investment in licensing or in the skills required to run that. And you have to think about why they're doing that. And so for me, there are really two drivers. The first is going to be saving money, moving away from legacy, inefficient infrastructure into dense, highly optimized environments. And the second, in relation to the question, is generating new revenue. And in most cases, that means entering new markets, protecting market share, and really seeing off any new startup challenges within your space. Now, Kubernetes itself is a fantastic platform because it allows people to more rapidly build and deploy applications, which naturally, in a competitive environment, is really, really important. But what we see a lot of our customers and other organizations struggle with is the complexity around solving for data services. And data services are a critical part of any new workloads that are being deployed. So if we look at the impact of not having an answer there, if you're building applications to take on a new competitor, and now suddenly your project is blocked for months because you are struggling to architect a database, well, now your competitor is getting even further ahead of you or starting to eat into your market share. So where Portworx plays a part is that we bring a huge amount of experience and also an opinionated way of running these data services in production that allows organizations who are building workloads to protect their market share to get those applications into production more rapidly. And what that means is that these new digital experiences that they're building for their customers are going to be up and running more reliably, more rapidly, and of course that's then going to give the organization the competitive edge that they need.